Well, a very warm welcome to you all. I hope you're doing well on this Monday morning. If you're not, hopefully we can brighten up your spirits with plenty of Greyhound action. We might be winding down for the year, but the Greyhound action is well and truly still going. So to help us recap everything that's going on and what is about to be is our Greyhound correspondent, Patch Adams. Patch, welcome to you. How was your weekend?
Good morning to you, Kirsten. It was pretty good. It was lovely, in fact. So great weekend behind us. And now we look into what's a big weekend with some ripping finals coming up over the next week, with the Laurels to be run at Sandown on Thursday night, and then the Silver Chief at the Meadows on Saturday. But before we get to that, we've got the Hobart Thousand on Thursday night, one of the oldest Group 1s in the country, and we're going to welcome in a man who is Mr. Tasmania when it comes to greyhound racing, Brennan Ryan. Brennan, welcome in, mate. Good morning to you, and gee, good night of racing last Thursday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, good morning, Patch. Good morning, Kirsten. It was certainly a fantastic night of racing to welcome, the quality of the interstate dogs and seeing the best of our local dogs compete in such a big series like the Hobart Thousand. It's certainly a joy to watch it unfold. And now we've got a very good final coming out of those 7 heats, and looking to see how the result plays out for that on Thursday night.
It's a great final, no two ways about that. And obviously we had some strong Victorian interest in the heats, but fortunately I think there is some good local talent that have made their way through to the final. But the first replays we're going to have a look at in recapping last Thursday night's action is that of the Anthony Azzopardi winning double. The first of them, Brennan, came via inconspicuous. And he's usually one that spears straight to the front, but on this occasion had to work a bit harder.
Yeah, he certainly did. The run was quite impressive. As Anthony stated, the dog takes a little bit of time to wind up in his run, but when he certainly got going, he put the paw to the floor and really showed his acceleration, and that was the most impressive part, and especially with the other greyhound that we'll talk about shortly, Hotel Whiskey 1. Both greyhounds didn't have a chance to see the track and lead up to the heat, so quite impressive efforts on such a testing track. So looking to see how they really take that run going forward into the final.
You mentioned Hotel Whiskey 1, and he was the fastest of the heat winners, and no surprise at all. I mean, we know how well he went in a heat of the Bendigo Cup, Brennan, and I guess he's a good two-turn track, but I really feel a series like the Hobart Thousand and a track like Hobart suits him to the ground, and we saw that in full swing on Thursday.
Oh, we certainly did. I mean, you look at the form coming out of the Golden Cup series where he broke the track record in the final, and, the Greyhound's got a pure amount of class, and to run 25.54, look, I haven't seen a dog do that. Probably, it's hard to comparisons in the dog, but on ability coming to this track, Tommy Shelby did something similar like that when he came here, and he hadn't been on a one-turn track prior to coming to the series. But, Hotel Whiskey 1's had the form on the board, and he really put a great performance. And, with that run now put away, you can only imagine what he'll do if he gets another clear run like that again on Thursday night. And look, you never go the crow early, but the track record could be seriously in danger. I mean, he's put 25.54 on the board. The track record could fall if the conditions are perfect, and the amazement to see what he'll take out of the run heading into the final.
Well, it was a fantastic night for trainer Anthony Azzopardi with that winning double. Let's hear what he made of it.
Yeah, no, it was a big effort. He's a pretty super dog, especially on the U-turns. He goes good on 2 turns too, don't get me wrong, but U-turn sort of matches his speed, and it didn't really come to a surprise, I'll be honest,
Once he got out in front, I mean, look, the run's going to be beneficial for him next week. He's still got round beautifully, but with another run under his belt, he can only imagine what he'll do next week in the final. With the right draw, he's going to really run a sensational race again. Yeah,
look, he does find a bit after a first run, and we'll just have to see next week, I suppose.
It's a similar matchup to how, obviously, the Golden Cup run went. Is there much that he does now and lead up to the final next week?
Yeah, look, I'll just take him home now and just do his normal routine. He'll go up my straight probably on Monday, and that's it, put him away and put him on the plane and come here.
Inconspicuous, mate, won the first heat. What'd you take of that run?
Yeah, I reckon his run was real super. He got held up a few times in that race, and he's a big dog, and he takes a little while to get going again. So I was pretty proud of him to find the line like he did, because he beat a very good dog, and no, I'm pretty happy with him. If he draws inside, he'll give this dog a run for his money. Don't worry about that.
Anthony, you brought over some runners over the years. I know you were in the final 16 years ago, but come across with two good chances again. They're going to be in the mix, and it's just a matter of who gets the luck on the night between the two of them.
Yeah, look, anything happens in big races, just as long as we can take them home and they're all one piece, that'll do me.
Anthony has a party thrilled the bits there with his winning double with Inconspicuous and also Hotel Whiskey One. And it wasn't the only double that we saw throughout the heats of the Hobart Thousand. Of course, Ted Medhurst and Debbie Cannon to the fore, as they so often are down there on the Apple Isle. And the first one we're going to take a look at is that of Aston Smokey. And Brennan, he's had purple patches at times throughout his career, and it did come into this series with a bit of a winning drought, but he saved his best for the biggest occasion.
Look, Debbie Cannon is no stranger to preparing a dog, in readiness for this series. And like you just said, his form was a little bit off, but he turned it round. And if he can replicate what he has done in those circumstances where he had the form, he can really run a sensational race. Coming through the low-graded races since he arrived here in Tasmania, he's really built up a promising resume here, and Debbie's no stranger to winning a Hobart Thousand with Leroy Rogue, so she likes to go into the race, or in any race, let alone being a group final or one of our semi-features, as the outsider. So you'd expect to know that this greyhound will be on song, ready to have a good crack at the race, and I know she's particularly proud to see it make the final with the Association for Ray Border, as we know is one of our most successful owners right throughout Australia.
An absolute giant in the breeding and owning ranks, and I guess he made a massive investment in the sport for about a decade now. So to have him have success, I'm sure no one's arguing with that. The second winner for Debbie Cannon, Brennan, was that of Trefusis. Now, a lot of greyhounds in this field that we know a lot about, and we've seen them go around in good races time after time. This girl, a little bit different, just the 8 starts for the 3 wins. And was this a bit of a surprise to you, given she did salute at double-figure odds?
Yes, it certainly was, because she had the likes of Zipping Grillis and a couple of other really good, top-graded greyhounds that are lined up in that heat. Look, she's got the ability, but a lot of people, if they look closely into her form, she has got 2 tickets for failure to chase on her resume at the moment. And look, the ability's there, but just the inconsistency is well known on her career. Look, you could say that she will be the massive outsider of the field, but look, any greyhound is deserving of making the race, and she is the one that has flown under the radar coming into the final. So, look, we'll keep her within interest to see how she's going to perform, but she won't factor very strong in the market heading into the race on Thursday.
Well, it was a fantastic night for that kennel. So without further ado, let's hear from kennel rep Ted Medhurst.
Yeah, no, she couldn't be happier, but the first dog went well. The second bit, she's just got blind and sectionals, and she's done a good job. She hasn't had a lot of starts, so we're wrapped.
Well, she's only a veteran of 7 starts for 2 wins. Going to be the youngest one in the field on the form side of it, but incredible splits there tonight, 488 to the first mark.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise. She can do that for fun. Yep. She can be a bit erratic at times, but when she's on song, that's just, she can run those sectionals, no worries.
Aston Smokey got through earlier tonight, a little bit of a bolter, but he's deserved to be in any final. With his credit and the right brakes, he can run a very good race.
Yeah, well, he's run 70s tonight, and like most of them, and except for the dog of Azapardis, he's went a lot quicker. But no, look, he's a good, consistent, solid dog. Better off drawing near the fence.
Yep.
He's afforded that tonight, but I couldn't be happier, and he's been a good dog for the kennel for a long time.
For Deb to get 2 through, I know she's won it back in 2018 when Leroy Rowe. Anyone to get a runner through to the state's biggest race is a big thrill. So for everyone involved, it's a big wrap, and hopefully it can play out with a bit of luck next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the bitch. We own her, so that'll be a big bonus. But just wrapped to be here, and big night tonight, and to make a Group 1, it's a great effort.
powerhouses down in Tassie, and no surprises, you said, Brendan, for them to come to the fore when we get to this time of the year, which is Christmas in Tasmania with the running of the Hobart Thousand series. The next heat we're going to take a look at is the one that was won by Ducati Roy. Now, this boy, Brendan, does not run a bad race, and he ran third in last year's final behind Crackerjack Bull and got attitude, and I'm sure there's plenty down there, the locals, who feel like it's so deserving and fitting that this boy's in the final yet again.
Oh, look, he's had an impressive 12 months in his racing career, Patch. We've seen him head across to Victoria and race. I think he finished second in the Traralgon Cup and qualified in the Warragul Cup and the Warragul St Leger. So he's been at the foray, and to see him, what he did last year, he led the field up in the final against Crackerjack Bull, and just got run down in the closing stages. But to be back in there for not only for Mick Sheriff, the trainer, but for the syndicate, the boys behind that, Barry Hayward, and Muzzer Johnson and the rest of them. Look, it's no secret that Barry Hayward had quite a serious car accident just over a month ago now, and he's still recuperating from that as we speak. So it's a great tonic for him. And, the dog's locally bred, locally owned, locally trained. So everyone's taking a lot of passion out of that to see such a powerful performer like him. And if he can replicate similar to what he done last year, and the way Mick's planned out his training to build him up ready for this series, look, the dog should be a lot, primed, ready to really put forward another exceptional run. So all eyes will be on Ducati Roy for a local representative in the final on Thursday.
Well, let's hear from winning trainer Michael Sheriff.
He just finds a way to win, so it doesn't matter what box, what the opposition is, he doesn't know any different. He just finds a way to win. So yeah.
You said to me in lead up to bringing him back about a month ago, you just planned it out just to build him up in momentum, to have fresh legs for the series, and tonight's proof that the way he's come back, he should really sharp up for the final with a bit of luck.
Yeah, I wasn't probably happy with him a couple of months ago, so I give him a bit of time off and a bit of a freshen up, and he's just come on. And last week, even though he didn't win last week, it was still a good run, and tonight he's found the front and a bit of trouble behind, and rest of history. So
splits have been good there tonight. I mean, 25.74. It's around that PB that he has run previously, but he's just doing really well.
Yeah, that's what he runs. It just every week. It's just, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't matter what race, what he's getting, what box. It just is the same every week. So it's unbelievable how he does it.
What do you want next week in the final?
Won't make no difference. Won't make no difference. Last year was box 7. Yep. So for a dog that doesn't begin, struck the front turn for home. Like I said, just to be in it's enough for me. So, yeah.
Mick Sheriff there giving a rap to Ducati Roy, and I'm sure he was one of the wearing the best hat that Hobart had to offer last Thursday night there on Hobart Thousand Heats night. Now we're going to take a look at Serial Sticker, Brennan, and a little bit like Trefusis, which we had a look at earlier, comes into this race with not a great deal of experience. However, this boy obviously has got a bit more muscle and consistency about the way that he's performed at the start of his career. So to match motors with Aston Fantastic and get the job done, that's a big feather in his cap.
Oh, it certainly is. It's given him a great boost in credentials when you're lining up in a Group 1 final, and he's put the performance there as we see on screen. Look, the way he's gone about it, he has performed well, on the city tracks, and Brendan took him away and took him out to the country and placed him in quite a few Grade 5 races, and it's built him up quite well. And the trial indicated that he was, going to run a very good race there, and he's drawn wide again in the final on Thursday. So, look, you expect him, if he's up there, there's plenty of speed in this race, and if he's up there early vying for the lead, if he can sit there and get an untroubled run, he could be a sneaky chance at the odds. But it's just great to see Brendan Purcell back here in Tasmania trying to qualify a runner into the final. We know he's well and truly established in Victoria now, but to have him back here with a dog with such a serial sticker, it's certainly a great thrill, and hopefully he'll won't disgrace himself in the race.
Hopefully not. Well, let's hear from Brendan Purcell, winning trainer on Thursday night.
Yeah, it was. Not the way I thought he might have won if he was going to win. I thought he might have been able to get across him early. Yeah. So we were pretty happy in the way he had to do that little bit extra work that he normally doesn't have to do, sit outside the dog and to still be able to win. Yeah, I thought it was a courageous sort of win for him.
You've been building him up. He's put it together, a very good form there. He's won 4 of his last 5, and that build-up has, been in good stead. He's got the confidence under his belt.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get 500. We're just hoping that he might strengthen in this trip, and that might help him that little bit more, because he's definitely got the speed early and the pace to be in front, most of the time over 500, which would be very good.
Yep.
But we took him out the bush and ran a few sort of 390s and 400s, and he did get run down over 450 at Ballarat his last start. But there was a couple of circumstances, and a good dog ran him down. So look, he's on the way up, and hopefully we just keep him getting that little bit better.
You've been coming back and forth here. I know you based in Tassie here for a long time, but you've been coming back with runners trying to compete to get a runner back through. With this bloke, be a great thrill, and to be back here amongst all the blokes you've come around since you kicked off as a trainer all those years ago.
Yeah, no, it's good to come home and say hello to everyone. And look, it's a race I'd really like to win. Just to have it on the mental piece would be pretty good.
Brendan Purcell there speaking about Serial Sticker, always very good with his time, is BP. The next one we're going to take a look at is the win of Flying Zulu. He's been one of the heavyweights in Australian greyhound racing over the past almost 12 months now, Brendan. And look, to see him win like he has here in 25 and 65, and he doesn't come up as favourite, gives some sort of indication about the depth of the field.
Interrogation next, and Rojo.
Oh, it certainly does. Look, the confidence has been, glowing on this dog for the past 12 months, as you stated. We all know he's the Brisbane Cup winner, and the win that he had coming out of Melbourne Cup night recently. Look, the dog is not without, being in this race, and look, the market can respect him no matter the way they see it, but I think he is a deserved chance. He never got a opportunity to trial on the track and lead up to the heats on Thursday. He only arrived on Tuesday, so the run is going to be a massive benefit, and he's in the hands over here for the caretaker, Mick Stringer. So we all know how well Mick's associated with the Thompson kennel. He's helped prepare 2 previous Hobart Thousand winners for them with Hooked on Scotch and Aussie Secret. So, the time benefit over here will do the dog the world of good. He's drawn quite well from out wide, and I think he's going to run a very good race there again. If he can get he's got to be left alone in this race, and it's just that couple of strides early that's going to be beneficial to see how he gets into the field, because as I stated earlier, there's plenty of speed in this race, so it's all about the early positions, and if he can get himself up there nice and handy, he will be there within striking distance in the run to the home turn.
Yeah, the market very much reflecting there the chances of Flying Zulu, currently in the second line of betting at $3.50. On top at $2.70, Hotel Whiskey One very much looks to be the dog to beat. Worth mentioning at $4.60 is Inconspicuous, slightly further down. Well, it's $5.50 or more the rest. So the market's starting to tighten as we turn our attention, counting down to Thursday 12th. Patch, what are your thoughts? I know there's probably a little bit of movement still to happen, but at the moment, how are you feeling?
Well, it's a bit tricky, Kirsten, because a lot of the bigger chances are drawn towards the outside. So we've got Hotel Whiskey One, the jump from 6, and we know it gets away well more often than not and likes to be in that mid to wide part of the track. So that makes things a little bit difficult for the likes of Flying Zulu and Serial Sticker on his immediate outside. So to me, I'd probably end up leaning towards Inconspicuous in box 1. He should have the room, and his mate in Hotel Whiskey One possibly holding off those other 2 in the run to the first turn. But we'll take a deeper dive into the way it's going to play out on Thursday morning. Brendan, on Saturday night, we know it's a big occasion annually for racing in Tasmania. And on Saturday, we saw a new inductee into the Hall of Fame with a little Spaniard, the 2008 Hobart Thousand winner, making her way through to elite company. Tell us a bit more about her and what she means to racing in Tassie.
Well, actually, it's the trainer that got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Mick Stringer, on his career record. The replay that we'll see is one of Mick's accolades as a trainer, putting the polish to Little Spaniard. And Mick's been a trainer in the racing industry for more than 50 years. You'll see this race here, 2 outstanding Tassie dogs in Little Spaniard, and also from number 4 there, Top Line Doobie. They've run the Quinella, and that was certainly a massive highlight for Mick's career. He not only trained Painted Hilux to win the 1991 Launceston Cup, and also Top Line Doobie went across to WA and won the Group 2 WA Oaks in 2009. So he's had an absolute host of superstar dogs come through his kennel over the years. And not only that, we've had the likes of Tuggerah Beaver that was inducted into the Hall of Fame, a dog from the late 70s there, trained and owned and bred by the late great Reg Ivory, who won more than 50 races in his career from 114 starts, and a deserved inductee to the Hall of Fame, alongside Lygon Leader, who was a noted stayer in his career, trained by Gary Fay for his brother Greg Fay, bought in circumstances just sighting the mother Greg did at Wentworth Park on his honeymoon. And months later, he noticed an advert in the Victorian Greyhound Weekly for the sale of the litter and bought a pup, and let it be alone that he came on and had a wonderful racing career and made the Fury Ford Cup at Harold Park, which is at that time was the richest staying race in the country, and was second to Tengatars in the national distance, and just a great dog all around. Winburn Sheehan, who we all know was a very good greyhound in his career for Ben and Tom England, who won the Launceston Cup and the Devonport Cup. Made a number of finals, including the Brisbane Cup up in Queensland for Tony Brett, and performed admirably through his career. Sadly, his life was lost in an operation on the veterinary table. So it's one of those great stories up for debate on what his career would have been like at stud, but his memory is now well and truly inscribed into the Hall of Fame.
Step ahead of me, as always, Brennan. But as we build up to Thursday night with the running of the Hobart Thousand, talk us through the best way to tune in and who's on course bringing us all the action.
Well, my good self and Duncan Dornoff will be on Sky Racing Active throughout the night for the 10-event program. We'll also have the coverage there. I think it'll be able to be picked up through Tas Racing TV. So there'll be plenty of opportunities. There's some great excitement on track, and we're looking forward to a good crowd there. I understand through the committee that good numbers are starting to come in through our sponsors dinner, and we'll have some activities there for the kids. And also we've got some good feature races supporting the Hobart Thousand. The Bob Brown Memorial is the Hobart Thousand Consolation. Then we had the Billy Grice Memorial, and also a race that is very dear to everybody here in Tasmania, the Denise Fish Memorial, honouring the former president of the club, Denise, and what she not only did for Tasmanian racing but Australian greyhound racing in her time. It's a race that's, everyone likes to win, and it's going to be a very good night, and hopefully we see some good results all around, including through the Hobart Thousand.
Indeed, seems like there's plenty on and plenty of reason to get along. If you are a Tassie resident and keen to get along Thursday night, fingers crossed the weather looks after us, because clearly plenty happening on track. Brennan, thanks for your time this morning, mate. You're a credit to the whole game, and in particular racing in Tassie. So thanks for coming on and bring on Thursday night.
No, thank you, Patch. Thanks, Kirsten. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on to have a chat. And looking forward to the running of the final on Thursday and the continuation of our summer carnival. We've got some big races over the next couple of months. So, it's a busy time down here, but love every aspect of it.
Yeah, and you can catch all the action from Thursday night if you can't head trackside, live and exclusive across the Sky Racing networks. A big thank you to Brennan. Now, Patch, you don't go anywhere, because we'll need you after this, as we're joined by Corey Smith and Shane O'Eyre with some breaking news leading into the Phoenix.